Here's a quick podcast for all you true crime fans. The case of the missing Reese's. It was me at the store with my mouth. Motive? They're Reese's. What was I going to do? Stop myself? Tune in next time to see if I do it again. Spoiler, I will. Wow, that had everything. Reese's, suspense, Reese's.
Last podcast on the left is all about the facts. So when Southern New Hampshire University came on as a sponsor, it was time to do some research. Turns out they offer more than 200 online degree programs, and get this, criminal justice and psychology are some of the most popular. Classes have no set meeting times, and tuition rates are some of the lowest in the U.S. Want to learn even more about SNHU? Visit snhu.edu/last.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
That's the dream. I'm actually excited about the little dog in Superman.
Yeah, Crypto.
Crypto's so fucking cute.
Yeah, Crypto's so cute. And yeah, I really hope they bring in all the different super pets because there's a whole menagerie.
James Gunn loves all.
Well, there's Crypto the super dog. There's Comet the super horse, Streaky the super cat, and Beppo the super monkey.
I remember Beppo. And then doesn't Wonder Woman get fucked by the horse?
Wonder Woman does get fucked by the horse, but with consent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Beppo gets turned into bolognese and he becomes Buca de Beppo.
That's cute as hell. One of my favorite Italian restaurants. I really want to. A lot of people have been saying recently that I look like one of Eileen Wuornos's victims / customers.
Yeah.
Due to my new look.
Yeah.
Your new look?
Yeah.
You've had a mustache for a very long time now.
He's talking about the curtains in the back.
I got the skullet going. I got sort of like, this is a whole, like, I've been driving for 8 days. This is why I haven't shaved. I haven't showered.
Yeah, you look like Fat Nicholson.
I am dude. I want to be fucking, it's Fat Milkerson. I want to get in there, but I just feel like I'm like, actually, I feel like I'm more like, this is Truth or Consequences, Henry Zebrowski.
This is absolutely Truth or Consequences, Henry Zebrowski.
I feel like David Parker Ray's like caterer. Like I feel like a guy who shows up like he knows me.
You don't know what's going on, but you know what's going on.
David, he likes it freaky. But also he loves my turkey picante, which I try to bring down. It's just nice. It's a Tex-Mex little mix right there, and David just slurps it right up on it when he was watching the dog having sex with the woman.
Yeah, I imagine he just has, Slim Jims and SpaghettiOs as his only
That's
meals.
his favorite. He likes his sticks and his squigglies. That's all he likes.
Welcome to the last podcast on the left, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marcus Parks. I am here with Henry Zebrowski, the man, the New Mexico citizen, possibly.
Yes. I hope you like green sauce. That's my New Mexico voice. That's New Mexico Henry Zebrowski. Hope you like your sauce, green.
It's an incredibly strange accent.
I actually did listen to a lawyer from New Mexico. And
Say, would you like chilies on your burger?
You want chilies on your burger there, son? They killed my daughter. I don't know. I've never been to New Mexico. I'm not certain, but I do think I appear like a man of culture. I do believe that if you were to see me on the street, you're like, that's a guy who pays to eat ass and can tell what kind of ass he's going to eat by looking at the pants. He knows what ass is in the pants.
And of course, we also have with us a man, I don't know your opinions on asses, taste, pants, or whatever. It's Ed Larson.
I think asses are fine to look at, but not to eat.
Hey, I just like...
personal preference.
Personal preference, slapping's good.
I just want to be involved.
Slapping and grabbing, I enjoy.
I just want to be there.
Yeah. I tell you what I'm not looking forward to is these next couple episodes.
Yay! No, Eddie, you'll see. Eddie, you're going to love it, Eddie.
Oh,
Just
yes.
think of Harley.
Oh,
Yes, I will. I'll think of Harley and her tied to a gynecologist table.
Yeah, come on. This is old school, buddy. We about to get nasty as all hell.
Yeah, no, this is really awful. I listened to the tape.
It's part of our Redux series, a redo, us going back and taking another swipe at stuff that we did long ago before we knew what the fuck we were talking about. Today, we're gonna be redoing and starting off on the foul, incredibly disgusting, and disturbing journey of David Parker Ray.
He truly a New Mexico romantic.
Now, he ain't afraid of no ghosts, right? That's what we're doing here?
No. Yeah, this is the mix-up here. We have to set this at the very, very top. There is David Parker Ray, serial killer, sexual scientist. Then there is David Ray Parker.
Actually, it would be Ray Parker Jr.
Ray Parker Jr.
Yeah.
That's the guy that made Ghostbusters.
The song.
And he's the guy that I was on set with him on when I did A.k.a, and he told every woman on set that he'd be glad to put a son inside them.
Oh, wow. So they are similar.
Cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. But we only know one of them is busting.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't David Parker Ray because he was almost completely impotent.
That's right.
We'll get there.
David Parker Ray, better known as the Toy Box Killer, was an American serial murderer and rapist who operated out of the small lake community of Elephant Butte, New Mexico. Throughout the 1990s, Ray is suspected of abducting and murdering up to 60 women in a homemade, soundproof, above-ground torture dungeon that lay in plain sight of the community, a dungeon that Ray called what else but his toy box. Because of David Parker Ray's cargo trailer turned torture chamber, Ray has the reputation of being one of the most sadistic serial killers in American history, perhaps most infamous for the pre-recorded tape he would play for his victims before the torture began that explained what was about to happen. But even if you don't think David Parker Ray is one of the worst serial killers, he was, at the very least, a world-class pervert.
Thank you.
A man who would make the Marquis de Sade blush with the sexual tortures he inflicted upon others. And just so everyone knows, this is a full Gold Star series from beginning to end.
Unless, of course, this makes you horny.
Well,
Then you love this.
well, then
this
we'd
is
call
exactly-
that a red light series.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yes.
you need to get therapy.
Hey, that's a good way for you to know when you gotta go.
Now, what's the difference between a heavy hitter and a gold star?
Heavy hitter is something, kind of a guy that everybody knows, and a gold star is something that contains the most disturbing material that you could imagine.
Yeah, because there really aren't any real docs on this guy, and I think it's because it's so upsetting.
It's how it usually happens, yeah. The ones that are so upsetting, the ones that are really just fucking disgusting, they don't tend to make the A&E documentaries about it. Netflix tends to not touch that. And in fact, when Netflix does make serial killer documentaries, usually they tend to skip over the more disgusting shit, like that Ted Bundy bullshit that they did, where they just completely skipped over him having sex with decomposed heads and putting makeup on the heads so they looked prettier. They just skip over all that shit. We don't do that here.
No, that's what sells tickets.
Yes. But David Parker Ray also had very little hard evidence in court. When we'll get to the end of the series,
Not just the end of the series. We're about to get into it right now.
Oh, yes. There's very little evidence to pin him to any form of these crimes. And even one of the worst parts about sexual assault and prosecuting sexual assault is first convincing a jury that sexual assault even happened if everybody involved is a sex worker.
Yeah.
So this is you're watching it happen in real time in the Diddy trial, but this is one of those that's the reason why there's very little straight up documentary footage on him, is because most of the thing that would involve witness testimony nobody showed up to give.
Yeah, and I think didn't his defense attorneys say that it was all consensual?
They always did. Yes, that was especially with who was in the court, and we'll get to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things that makes David Parker Ray special in the annals of serial killer history
Annals, please.
Thank you. If we could.
is that while there's no definitive evidence or even any bodies linking him to those 60-some-odd suspected murders, there's also little doubt that David Parker Ray committed those murders. The reasons behind that assumption are, of course, many-fold. First, the crimes that David Parker Ray committed in his toy box. Crimes that we know happened for a fact, not only because of witness testimony, but because of videotape he made himself. These crimes are so sadistic, so evil, and so deviant that it is ridiculous to think that he never escalated to murder multiple times. Furthermore, while David Parker Ray did release many of the women he tortured in his toy box after scrambling their memories with a cocktail of mind-breaking drugs, the evidence shows that Ray tortured dozens, if not hundreds of women within the box's confines. Therefore, it's also ridiculous to think that his drug cocktail worked on them all. It definitely did work sometimes, don't get me wrong. We have evidence for that. But the fact that no victim ever reported David Parker Ray to the police prior to the escape of his last abductee, that shows that he most likely murdered many of the women he kidnapped. Now, my last point, and perhaps the most important one when it comes to the bodies, this comes from the perspective of a close personal friend of mine, a buddy of mine from my days at Texas Tech named David Ward.
Oh, I thought you were going to say David Parker Ray Jr. I thought you were going to talk about your best friend, that you were connected to the family, that you went over there all the time and you participated in a lot of the crimes when you were a boy.
No, you guys remember Dave Ward. We used to hang out in New York all the time.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Dave's perspective is special because he not only grew up spending his summers at Elephant Butte Lake, he also spent that time at his grandparents' trailer, which was located just 2 doors down from where David Parker Ray did everything we're about to discuss while David Parker Ray was doing it.
Is it called Elephant Butte Lake because it looks like an elephant sat down on New Mexico?
I don't know, Henry. What do you think?
I'm asking you, history boy. I'm asking you, lake man. I'm asking you, regional expert.
Okay, I know that it's a man-made lake, that it's new.
That's
I don't
all
know
I
why
wanted
they
to
call
know.
it Elephant Butte.
That's all I was asking.
So your buddy, Dave, he never heard screaming, or did he just think it was an owl?
He absolutely nothing. Nobody knew anything about this guy. Like Dave's grandfather, his grandparents owned that trailer out there, and they spent summers out there. He said that his grandfather would chat with David Parker Ray. His grandfather was an electrician. David Parker Ray was a mechanic, so they'd talk shop. He was just the way Dave described him, because Dave had a lot of interactions with him. He called him Mr. Ray. He's like that Southwestern human cigarette.
Yeah.
The guy with just, the deep gravelly voice, kind of a curmudgeon, but, you don't really get a feeling from him, just some fucking guy.
Yeah, beef jerky Jeff Foxworthy.
I gotta tell you something, Ron. They put them speed limits on. Them speed limits is a challenge.
Did he say if he was nice or not?
He said he was kind of a curmudgeon. That's about all he would say.
Yeah, because he wasn't fucking. You have any idea how annoyed he was when he wasn't fucking?
Yes, I know lots of people who don't fuck that
And
are
they're
perfectly fine human beings.
Absolutely
Not
fine.
David Parker Ray. David Parker Ray got to be fucking currently in order for him to feel good.
Well, I mean, really.
Also, you think screaming women sound like owls? Let's move forward.
depends on the owl.
So you just saying have you heard an owl that sounds like a screaming woman?
Well, when an owl attacks, it screams to scare its prey, and the prey usually stands still when the owl screams.
Yeah, he knows about animals, Henry. Don't fuck with him on animals. He knows what he's talking about.
It's comparing it to the dead women, to the dead tortured women.
Right.
That's my main issue.
Right. No, the trailer was soundproofed.
Okay.
Are we all satisfied?
I am.
I asked my questions.
Well, I mean, the information that I got from Dave, the stuff about, knowing David Parker Ray is important, but the more important stuff that I got from him was about Elephant Butte Lake itself.
Okay.
From what he told me about Elephant Butte Lake, there's nary a spot in America that was better suited to being the home base of a serial killer who wanted to make the bodies of his victims disappear forever.
And wasn't that written on the sign when you come into Elephant Butte. I'm pretty certain.
It has one of those population signs that constantly rotates.
Yeah, it's just like a flip thing that they can take it. Yeah.
Well, there are some serial killers who want bodies to be found, who leave bodies in certain places.
To be found.
To be found specifically. And then there are some, like David Parker Ray, who never want them found.
Do you think there is a chance that he killed nobody?
No.
Okay.
No.
Not with the. What we'll see is it's really the circumstantial evidence is a pile of jewelry and clothing and trophies.
Okay.
Well, Elephant Butte is a man-made lake filled with the muddy brown water of the Rio Grande. And speaking to someone who also grew up around one of these man-made lakes, mine was Lake Stamford, I'll say from experience that you can barely see your own hand in front of your face once you put your head below water.
Ain't nobody should be making lakes but God.
Well,
and Iran and Pakistan.
well, unless a body floats to the surface, no one's ever going to see it once it goes into the water. But more important than the murkiness of the water is the dam system that created Elephant Butte Lake.
The dam system.
The dam
that
system.
goddamn system forcing me to live Elephant Butte Lake.
The system of dams that created Elephant Butte Lake. Excuse me, that was my fault.
Damn.
Well, this lake dams into another body of water called Caballo Lake, which itself runs back into the Rio Grande River.
That means horse lake.
Very good, Henry. The Rio Grande, of course, flows into the Gulf of Mexico. What does Mexico mean, Henry?
Mexico.
So if David Parker Ray was killing women and dumping their bodies into the lake, the corpses could have very well floated all the way out to the ocean. And that's even if they weren't chewed up after passing through 2 dams. And that's the thing, is that people did find chunks in Elephant Butte Lake. They did find like little pieces here and there.
It's just like,
but it just...
No, just you look like someone fake's titty fell off.
Yeah.
All right, over here, someone lost a fake leg. Man, I gotta say, we gotta cull some of these fake body parts. They are confusing the police. All right, I'm dealing with here. I got a pair of titties. I got 2 legs. I got no blood.
Now, the other interesting aspect of this case when it comes to Elephant Butte is that while this lake is not necessarily party central, it's definitely a place where the party atmosphere is ever present. But not in the fun spring break Senior Frog sense.
Yeah.
This is a very southwestern form of partying, what you might call long-form partying.
That's a good term for it.
Yeah, where the beer can's got bite marks on the side of them.
Yeah. The herald of partying.
This creates an atmosphere where alcoholism is widely accepted, if not outright encouraged. And drug abuse is somewhat waved off, just so long as it doesn't become your neighbor's problem. But since there are so many people partying in ways that can lead to dark places, David Parker Ray did not act as a lone wolf when it came to both his sexual deviancy and the murders that were committed at the lake. Ray had an entire crew of people in Elephant Butte who participated in his crimes, from buddies to girlfriends to his own fucking daughter. And going by the testimonies of survivors and the people who were there, every single one of these people joined in on Ray's extracurricular activities consensually.
I gotta say, when I was trying to organize an S&M fuck club that tortured and murdered women, when I was in Tuscaloosa, everybody rejected me. And when I was in San Antonio, everybody said, "No way, Dave. No way. It wouldn't work here, Dave." But then when I got to Elephant Butte, my people arrived. And I knew that we as a community could come together and make the change we want to see. We can all group kill sex workers together by our actions, not even on purpose, even accidentally. We will kill dozens of women. Am I right, folks? Am I right, my young daughter? Yeah. Jesse, I love you.
So you moved from Tuscaloosa to Elephant Butt.
Yeah.
Where the tusks are tighter, apparently.
Anything that reminds you of the zoo. 'Cause that's where I want to put my women.
Now, it's been said again and again that David Parker Ray and his accomplices were active members of a satanic cult. But what Ray and the others had going on here could not by any definition of the word be described as cultish. Rather, what you had here was more of a club that used Satanism as a party theme. Really, you could have substituted anything as the backdrop of Ray's sexual perversions. You could have used the fucking Thundercats, and the outcome would have been exactly the same. In other words, this was not Krugersdorp, where one Svengali pushed other people towards doing shit that they wouldn't have done otherwise. Instead, this was a group of people who were all turned on by extreme sexual deviancy, and not the fun kind of extreme sexual deviancy. This is the morally and legally wrong variety. And rather than being a leader, David Parker Ray was more like the president of the club who owned the lodge.
It's like a prime minister. That's kind of more my thing, all right? My favorite thing is fucking a girl until she calls me Snarf.
Yeah, they just need stuff to do there, I think. Like get this town a water park.
They got the lake.
Yeah, they got the lake.
The lake is a scum-filled hole.
It is a scum-filled hole. It's actually down to like 9% right now. It's there's problems.
Oh,
in
so
the
maybe they'll
Southwest
find
with
some
water.
bodies.
That is actually one of the things that they keep hoping for. That's like the silver lining of like, well, yeah, Southwest water's really disappearing at a very quick rate. We really did put way too many people out here that should not have been here. We built a civilization where civilization should not exist. But eventually, global warming will lead us to finding the bodies of serial killer victims. So that is something to look forward to.
Honestly, it's kind of nice. The heat wave is really helping us crack a bunch of cold cases.
Rise from your grave.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Summer means freedom. And for adults, summer means work next to freedom. But thanks to Mint Mobile's summer sale, it can almost feel like the work is playtime for the adults. Right now, all of Mint's plans are $15 per month, even unlimited. Free yourself from big wireless and switch to Mint Mobile for high-speed data and coverage on the T-Mobile 5G network. It's so well connected, I could call from anywhere. Deep from well within my bunker, where my AI-fueled robots slowly but surely toil for me, but I know for a fact I'm saving money on my phone plan. Or up above, where I'm training all of my giant Amazon female warriors who will fight in bulletproof mesh. Also, honestly, Mint Mobile's really cheap, and it's really reliable, so you should use it. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 per 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabyte hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com. If I think about where we were 20 years ago, and I think what we would use to protect our space, it would mostly involve bayonets, weed whackers, and assorted diesel-fueled dune buggies that we'd use to spread pollution so thick it kept the other improv comedians from stealing our material. But now, SimpliSafe has made all that so much easier. Using SimpliSafe here at the office has revolutionized our ability to use diesel-powered dune buggies for good, and not for chaos. Think about what your home security system does as an intruder approaches your house. Sits, waits. Not much. Just waits until the window breaks, and then it goes, oh no. But then you get some kind of alarm and a notification. What if the whole point was to stop the chain events before it even happened? Unlike traditional security systems that'll only alert you after a break-in is already underway, SimpliSafe is designed to help stop intruders before they get inside. It goes into their mind. It makes them think of why they're doing this. I remember when we didn't have real security and all the podcasters were outside begging for our takes. Begging and scratching like a bunch of weasels. Now I can see them 25 feet away, and I can spray them with fire extinguisher liquid and stink gas. Not that it would make them smell any worse than they already did. SimpliSafe helps me lord over them all. SimpliSafe has been protecting your world for 20 years. Celebrate their anniversary with us and save 60% on your new SimpliSafe system at simplisafe.com/LPOTL. That's 60% off at simplisafe.com/LPOTL. Plus, when you order, write in our show name in the How'd You Hear About Us survey in order to let them know we sent you. Don't forget, there's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Now, before we get into the story of David Parker Ray and the people who joined him in his deeds most foul, let's acknowledge our source for this series. Today, we've got Cries in the Desert by John Glatt, who also wrote one of the books we used in our Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell series. He wrote a Doomsday Mom, I believe.
John Glatt sounds like a guy who lives an unpleasant life. Sounds like a guy who makes his family miserable. We love you, John. And we feel for you.
Yeah, so, he ends every conversation as, glad to know ya!
Hey, just so you know, name's John Glatt. If you die by a cold murder, have your family hit me up, all right? I got a book idea for you.
Now, Glatt, disappointingly, he does have some of the same outmoded and offensive attitudes towards homosexuality that a lot of true crime authors have for some bizarre fucking reason that I've never figured out. But the book is nevertheless what you'd call a meat and potatoes true crime narrative.
You know what it is? I think a lot of it is definitely a deep not understanding, and also like an appliance of it's almost like homosexuals exist in a mysterious, cryptic world.
Yeah.
That's always this idea that every homosexual is they have a bunch of deviant friends and they do weird group parties all the time.
Yeah.
Deviancy is the key word here.
Yes.
And I think a lot of these true crime authors do get caught up in this idea that homosexuality is deviant behavior somehow instead of seeing it as totally fucking normal.
Well, a lot of serial killers are closeted homosexuals.
Some. Yeah.
Not David Parker Ray.
No.
Well, maybe he was.
We'll find out.
No, he wasn't.
All right.
He definitely wasn't.
Spoiler.
And so let's get into our redo of David Parker Ray, a proper run-through, starting with where the man himself began his life. So David Parker Ray was a Southwest native, born in 1939 to a couple with the very southwestern names of Cecil and Nettie in the desert town of Belen, New Mexico. I've known anytime you look through anyone's family history in the Southwest, there's always a Cecil, there's always a Nettie. They're all out there.
But I will say, due to our Lincoln series, the amount of Ruggles representation in this country is surprising. There's a lot of living Ruggles. There's someone knows a Mortimer.
Someone knows
many Mortimers around.
Wow.
I mean, he's going to be killed by bullies.
I guess Rick and Mortimer.
Yeah, but still, you should learn to not name your child Morty.
True. Well, like many serial killers, David Parker Ray was raised in a violent, alcohol-fueled household, and he would bear the brunt of his father's drunken rages at the slightest provocation. Cecil Ray, however, left when David was just 10. I guess I should say Cecil Ray.
Cecil!
Most likely Cecil. Cecil Ray, however, left when David was just 10, and since his mother also wanted nothing to do with David and his little sister Peggy, both kids were shipped off to live with their grandparents in the isolated New Mexican town of Mountain Air, which is spelled inexplicably in one run-together word.
No time! No time! No time! No time for spaces!
There's gold! Gotta get some gold!
Mountain there!
Ain't got time to waste. Where's my pan? Where's my gold pan? Mountain there!
Now, by the time David Parker Ray reached junior high in the early 1950s, he had the reputation of being a docile boy. David was the kid who always had his shirt buttoned to the top button, which came with the insistence of his strict Christian fundamentalist grandparents, who also beat him on the regular.
They call the Adam's apple the devil's doorknob. That's what my Pepe says.
It's so weird because, like, part of me is like, I'm glad they beat him. But then the other side is like, oh, but that's probably what led to it.
Well, just like John Wayne Gacy's father, sometimes the parents are right.
That's all to say that David Parker Ray was an isolated introvert, and there were seeds planted in those early years that would give David Parker Ray something to internalize during the 6 years he spent deep in the lonesome New Mexican countryside. Reportedly, during the time that David and his sister lived in Mountain Air, his father only visited twice, but David's father was the type of man who traveled with his own pornography.
You got to, son. You got to. You never know when you're going to be in a pinch.
When I was doing journeyman construction work and when I was in high school, I knew guys who travel with their own pornography. It's in a suitcase, and it's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus, come check it out.
No, they want to show it to you.
Hey, Marcus, come look at this one. It's got a woman's severed foot in it. Oh, look at this one. It's a woman shitting on a dog.
It wasn't
When
weird
I was
back then.
17,
Hey, Marcus, come here. Hey, you
I
recognize
saw
this guy?
some very bad porn.
Do you remember this guy? You recognize this guy? That's me.
Man, I remember we found my my buddy's dad's weird porn collection because he had, like, the Playboys were out. We
Sure.
could just find those.
Those are
But then-
classy.
yeah, but then there'd be other ones that would, have names I don't even want to say in this disgusting episode.
Oh, yeah, dude. I want to say my dad had a magazine called, like, Cuntish. Like, there was, like, something like that where it was almost cute in a way, like Cuntish, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, they had a lot of bad magazines back in the day, but they weren't I feel like they were even more prevalent than we thought they were. I think old men had different ways of living
They might have.
that we don't understand.
Well, Cecil Ray wasn't an old man. He was a man in his 30s, 20s.
But let's just say I got the attitude of one.
But they didn't have a porno library in their pocket like we do, so
Yeah,
they had to carry it in a suitcase.
No, I print mine out.
Yeah, it's good.
I print it all out. I put it
You
in the
make a
house.
flip book.
Whoa, it's animating.
Well, not coincidentally, Cecil Ray liked porn of the sadomasochistic variety, which must have been damn hard to find in the mid-1950s.
You know, it's kind of the alt scene's very interesting. Have you ever read anything into like I believe it's Diane Arbus or like that whole world? There's a lot of fetish stuff in the 1950s.
But not easy to find, and definitely not easy to find in New Mexico. Albuquerque?
Yeah.
Hard to find.
What?
Albuquerque.
I feel like Albuquerque's where all the paddling and the spanking is happening.
Well, actually,
Exactly, right?
David Parker Ray, this might prove that, yeah, it is a nasty town.
No, it's there. It's there, man. I remember one of the magazines that my buddy's dad had was called Coyote. So I imagine that was from New Mexico.
God, that's the word. Because it's like, in a coyote, all I know is that it's an animal driven by hunger from the wilderness to the cities.
Yeah.
And that is just to describe a woman as a coyote is really very scary.
It's a wild dog that drinks blood.
Yeah. And also, my friend Maria.
I love coyotes. Now, I'm just saying.
You would love that magazine.
Going on the record.
Nothing better than it's a bunch of pictures of women with dog collars on.
Now, we're of course not saying that S&M porn is what turned David Parker Ray into the monster he became.
No.
This isn't Ted Bundy talking to James Dobson here, but there are certainly signposts that come up in the early lives of these men that point them in the direction of how their murderous habits manifest. And the porn that David's father traveled with was certainly one of those signposts. Now, like a lot of these guys, David Parker Ray told grandiose lies when he was growing up. See, David, he was a naturally gifted mechanic. That was his lifelong job. So he gained a bit of popularity when it was discovered that he could fix the bikes that belonged to all the other kids in town. But the moment David got a little attention, he started telling people that the now-forgotten teenage heartthrob singer Johnny Ray was his cousin.
That's my cousin.
Sort of a, like, my uncle works at Nintendo type of situation. And David did all of this in an attempt to gain just a little bit of social currency.
You know, if he really wanted to, he should have learned to play the guitar himself.
Yeah.
And he could have written a song or two, and maybe that would have distracted him a little bit.
Oh yeah, there's definitely never been a musician who's ever done anything fucked up and sexual.
Well, there was that one.
There's definitely never been a musician in the history who's run, like sex trafficking or torture rings or tortured women or abused girls or
the super bad babysitter from Lost Prophets. What was his name? Ian Watkins.
Ian Watkins.
Yeah, super bad babysitter.
Yeah. No, but while David Parker Ray was telling lies about being related to a famous singer, the first bubblings of his future sexual perversions were beginning to manifest behind his docile stare.
He did have, the way I would describe him is he has pug eyes.
Yeah.
He has those lifeless, brown, unreadable,
beady
eyes in the center of his, but, great mustache.
Yeah, I mean, an incredible mustache, but yeah, eyes always kind of downcast at the floor.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You say pog or pug?
Pug.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Lifeless eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Like a nosy.
Like Coraline.
Don't get me started. The 50th anniversary. We got to stay on track.
But yeah, I would say David Parker Ray is the Coraline of serial rapists.
Well, decades later, David would tell an FBI profiler that his love for sadomasochism and torture blossomed at the age of 13, when he began fantasizing about tying women up to torture and rape them. Furthermore, Ray claimed in the infamous tape he would play for the women he abducted that he'd been raping girls, quote, since I was old enough to jerk off. Furthermore, one of David's accomplices told police that David had told her that he had committed his first murder when he was a teenager, when he supposedly tied a woman to a tree before killing her.
Which is interesting because we also know that he's a liar.
Yeah.
So we don't even know what anything that he's saying is true.
And therein lies the problem of the serial killer.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
never know what the fuck you never know what they're saying is true.
And what their game is. What we do know.
That's the more important thing is what their game. You never know what their game is.
Yeah, what is that tickles their fancy? But with David Parker Ray, the thing that we do know is how much was filmed. There was a lot that was filmed. But the hard part was the fact that none of them featured murder. So you just have all of this footage, and they're all being like, "Oh, that woman was just asleep." Like that was a good defense. We're saying all that kind of
I
stuff.
have so many questions about the videotape, but I feel like I should hold them.
Yes,
Please. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, much like his
because
fellow...
we're going to reenact it. Don't worry, you and I are going to know. I have a whole thing set. It's honestly, people were so excited about the last stream. Mm-hmm. It's what we're doing next. Yeah,
Nice.
Toy Box. Last Podcast and Left presents the Toy Box Thriller. We're doing a dance thing inside of my sex dungeon, and I'm going to be fucking Ed dressed as a dog.
Hold on, I thought I was the table.
No, you are the lady, my friend. Front row seat.
I always wanted to be a lady.
Now, much like his fellow sadomasochism enthusiast Dennis Rader, David Parker Ray would also draw his own torture porn, and he had been doing it from a young age. His sister claimed that she once found David's stash of drawings, but when she confronted him about it, he just laughed it off and said it was, quote, his new hobby.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. See, right here, this is Mario, right? Of the Mario brothers. This is Luigi Mario, his brother, right? As you can see, skating says, right? And he's choking him, right? He's choking him.
Yeah.
Because it's super great for when you pop off, when you're getting choked, right? And he knows that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And over here in the corner,
Over there?
that's Yoshi.
Yeah.
He's his long-tongued friend.
Uh-huh.
He's a pervert. He's the twisted one.
He's the twist.
And he's waiting for one to kill
Yoshi's
the other. When one kills the other, the two are going to fuck the corpse.
Oh, so Yoshi's waiting for whoever is going to die.
Yeah, yeah. I'm 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 12 years old. Yeah.
I'm 8.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. You want to do this? You want to be my Luigi?
Is this your new hobby, David?
It's my new hobby.
So I think good advice for any parent out there that catches their child doing this kind of art is maybe just pay them to draw something nice. And show them that, if they draw something nice, they get paid for their work.
You give him a $5 for a cherry tree.
I just got to say, David, this is super creative and super detailed. Here's $5. Go draw the house. Why don't you go draw a happy son or something, okay?
After David graduated high school in 1957, he lived what was a fairly normal life for a working-class man in the Southwest when it came to his professions. He continued his lifelong career as a mechanic and general handyman, and subsequently developed the skills that he would one day use to construct his own instruments of torture. But as far as his personal relationships went, David Parker Ray was a fucking deadbeat, and he spent the late 50s and early 60s marrying and divorcing twice while fathering a son along the way that he completely abandoned. But in 1967, David met and married an 18-year-old in Albuquerque named Glenda, and Glenda gave birth to the daughter that would one day join David in his sexual perversions. The child's name was Glenda Jean Ray, but she's better known as Jessie Ray, so as to differentiate herself from her mother, who is also named Glenda.
Why are there so many? Because your mom is a lady junior, right?
No.
Isn't your mom Billie Jean?
Well, no. Well, that's okay. My mom is kind of a lady junior. My grandfather's name's Billy Wayne, and her name is Billy.
This is like a whole Southern thing where you'll name the same people. They're all named the same name. Like everyone's got the same name, but then they all have nicknames that don't match the main name. They're like brand new names, or they refer to either a physical attribute or a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
Like
think
it's like, like skipping Tom, and there's like, there's like, one hand Jeffrey.
Never knew a one-hand Jeffrey.
But he's out there.
he's definitely, but I think it's one-hand Jeff.
Be like, hey, my name's Bill. Hey, my name's Bill. People call me Steve. Like, a lot of that.
I know a James named Robbie and stuff like that because his dad was James and they didn't want to keep it was too confusing.
Yeah.
Then why name him James in the fucking first place?
It's not his fault that his parents named him James.
But you're going to name him one name and then you're going to call him another name because the original name was too confusing.
I think
because
the
you've already
child
doubling
gets
up the
to
name.
pick what their new name's going to be.
I don't think that they do. They're just called this lady Jessie.
Or they don't really think it through that they don't think it's gonna be as confusing as it's gonna be, and then they get into it and they realize that it's very confusing.
People won't be confused. Don't worry. They don't. They all know that there's 4 Glendas.
It's hard to get creative right after you have a child. They're like, "What do you want to name it?"
Name it. Come on.
My name's Glenda. Might as well keep it going.
That's why you got to think of it beforehand. Robot. Tyrannosaur.
Are these children's names?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Piano Head.
Adolf Hitler.
No, not allowed. Nutella, not allowed.
Now, the author of Cries in the Desert wrongly tries to make a link between Jessie's sexuality and her relationship with her father. Jessie Ray was indeed a massive lesbian, but sexual orientation has absolutely nothing to do with environment. We know this. The things that happen to us as kids don't, quote-unquote, turn us gay. Jessie Ray was very simply, totally outside of her sexuality, a sociopath, much like her father. And the only link between David Parker Ray and her sexual orientation was that they were both rapists who enjoyed raping people of the same gender. Coincidentally, though, the same year that Jessie was born was the same year that David Parker Ray said that he joined the local Albuquerque bondage scene, which I at first thought was, somewhat small in 1967, but it may have been larger than I thought upon second look at, but all I know is it was probably really fucking weird.
Oh, man, you don't want to join a bondage scene where there's that many cactus around.
You know what it is? Yeah. Because you know what it is, too? It's like, why does it, in my mind, right, like San Francisco bondage scene, ooh.
Yeah.
Right? Amsterdam bondage scene,
Oh,
wow.
classy.
Paris,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Albuquerque's bondage scene. All I see is zip ties.
Yeah.
Like, all I see is zip ties,
Yeah.
plastic bags,
Yeah.
a man trying to get away.
I see a lot of brown.
A lot of brown.
Yeah, a lot of people using dead snakes to tie you down.
Yes. A lot of flaccid penises.
I mean, this is a place where, spiders are jewelry.
Hey, I like it. Nothing is better than having your pet be your tie. Like, that's amazing.
And actually, and I say this, I truly do love New Mexico. Like, the land of enchantment, I say,
Oh, yeah.
I say land of enchantment. I say good on you. I say it's warranted. I adore New Mexico. I think it's a great fucking place, but it's creepy as shit.
I think this
It's
episode
very
should
creepy.
be called Welcome to Albuquerque.
Now, a few months after Jessie was born, David abandoned his third family. And since this was 1967, the buttoned-up fundamentalist reinvented himself as a hippie by growing out his hair and hitchhiking around Arizona and New Mexico. But during David's hippie phase, you're flapping your hair around right now, Henry. Are you trying to tell me that you've reinvented yourself?
There's nothing civil about war.
It is amazing, though, how the hippie, movement really did hide so many sociopaths.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was built upon implicitly trusting strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
And drugs.
And there's gonna be there's a reason why Haight-Ashbury turned so dark so quickly.
Yeah. Well, they put too much trust in the bikers.
Yeah, you can't. Oh no, you can't trust the Hells Angels.
Yeah.
I trust the pagans, though. And that's why last podcast on the left here is officially aligning ourselves with the pagan motorcycle group. I see you at the meet, boys.
But during David's hippie phase, he may have also committed a murder. Maybe his first, maybe not.
We know it wasn't a tree.
No. See, in the summer of '69, David hooked up with a teenage girl who was also bumming around the Southwest, a girl who is only known today as Sally. Before long, Sally and David moved into a trailer together when the owner of a truck stop on Route 66 offered David a job as a mechanic. Sally soon became pregnant. But she told the owner's girlfriend that while David had taken her virginity, he was the most gentle and sensitive man she'd ever met. And that was in addition to David being an exceptional lover.
Yep.
In other words, this did not sound like a girl with 1 foot out of the door.
Sounds like a liar.
You don't think that David Parker Ray was good at kissing?
But one morning, the owner and his girlfriend woke up to find that Sally had simply vanished, along with all of her possessions.
Yeah, you know how these chicks are.
This was out of character for the Sally they knew, but David just said that Sally was a free spirit and that he wasn't at all concerned for her well-being. Well, the owners chalked Sally up as just another girl who'd returned to Route 66, and they forgot all about her. That is, until David Parker Ray made national headlines 3 decades later as a serial murderer.
Oopsie-doo, somebody got famous.
Yeah. Now, after almost certainly murdering his hippie girlfriend, Sally, David Parker Ray returned to the family he had abandoned 2 years earlier in Albuquerque. There, he reconnected with his daughter, Jessie.
I'm back. I had a thought that you might have missed me.
By day, David played the role of the family man, but his nights were spent in Albuquerque's aforementioned S&M scene with either sex workers or women he picked up in local bars.
Just everybody eating chicken fried steak and eating all the... That's all I think of is Tex-Mex food.
And it's incredible.
I just think Tex-Mex and large format sex activity doesn't mix.
No,
right?
it doesn't.
Certainly didn't smell good.
No, just green chili.
No.
Everyone's just eating that green pork chili, which I love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Tex-Mex is good, but it makes you 400 pounds real fast.
Yeah.
But I also feel like that then also makes you super able to be in the S&M scene because of how many whips you can take.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, because you have so much fat.
Yeah, when you're bigger, you're stronger.
I understand.
You're thicker.
Well, David continued these pursuits with more and more intensity as the years went by, and he later told the FBI that by the time he reached his 30s, sadomasochistic acts and fantasies had completely come to dominate his life. Even while masturbating, David said that he could never ejaculate unless he was imagining himself killing a woman. Now, it's unknown if David Parker Ray killed anyone in the 1970s. From what he told the FBI, he would have dormant periods where he wouldn't necessarily need to imagine killing a woman in order to ejaculate.
I just sometimes pour some ketchup on her. Sometimes when the ketchup ain't working, I put a little jelly on there. And
this is just in my brain. It's just my imagination. It's what's happening up here.
And then the next thing I know, I'm at a diner.
I'm like, oh, that's the issue. And David, every single time you want to kill a woman, eat something. You're getting hangry.
Because we all know the best chicken fried steak in all New Mexico is right here in True to Consequences.
Ew.
Well, what we do know is that David spent the 70s moving around New Mexico and Texas, working various high-skill blue-collar jobs, like running gas stations, repairing railroad tracks. Briefly, he even taught classes at a prestigious school for aircraft mechanics. David's marriage, however, once again fell apart under the weight of what it was like to be in a marriage with someone like David Parker Ray. So he left Glinda and little Jessie in 1981 for a new life in Phoenix. There, David met a woman named Joni Lee, whom David chose as his fourth wife.
I don't think Joni Lee can be a first wife. No, I think that Joni, if you're named Joni Lee,
Joni Lee,
unfortunately, You have a life of tragedy, Eddie.
Yeah. You're born divorced.
Joni Lee is smoking a cigarette as an infant. She's putting it out on her mother's clit. She's getting out of there. She's immediately getting into a forced marriage. She's having the baby at 2, and then she's back at work.
Yeah, 80 hours a week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, Joni Lee ain't getting an engagement ring that wasn't bought at Sam's Club.
Joni Lee hasn't seen a sunset in a pleasant way once. Joni Lee has never woke up in her own bed.
Rise from your grave.
Last Podcast on the Left is excited to collaborate with Audible. Audible has a massive range of ad-free crime fiction, nonfiction, and true crime podcasts. You know, there's so many things you could do while you're listening to an audiobook. You can clean up your own personal crime scene, and that's easy to do, and you can learn it all from books. Some people also listen to audiobooks to go to sleep. But you could check out podcasts like This American Life, titles from true crime greats like Michael Connelly and Agatha Christie, and Audible originals like Dr. Death, The Cowboy. You can find whatever you're looking for on Audible. Plus, you can multitask while you do it. Find your next mystery on Audible. Audible. Stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com/left. Is there anything better than a summer evening outdoors? Enjoy your space to the fullest with new greenery from Fast Growing Trees. I love a big, thick bush. Fast Growing Trees is America's largest, most trusted online nursery, and they can send me a big, thick bush any time of the day. It arrives at work. It arrives at my car. I can pinpoint on a Google map where it is. Send me a big, thick, brown bush. And they send it immediately when they have it, because sometimes the shaver comes to town. I remember one time I ordered a cherrywood tree from Fast Growing Trees. And my God, I couldn't cut it down, no matter what my father told me to do. I had to lie to him about it. And next thing you know, I became the first president of the United States of America. And even you can become the first president of the United States of America with Fast Growing Trees. Right now, get up to half off select summer planning essentials, plus get an additional 20% off your first purchase with code LEFT at checkout. That's an additional 20% off at fastgrowingtrees.com with code LEFT at checkout. Offer is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. It's so important to remember with the busyness of the holidays, every holiday, Arbor Day, that day about the planet, President's Day. There's so many things to adapt to in this life, you know, and it doesn't follow a perfect plan. God, ruins the whole weekend. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, it can be a space to pause, reevaluate, and adjust to any unexpected changes. With over 30,000 therapists worldwide, BetterHelp is one of the leading online therapy platforms, having served millions of people globally. BetterHelp makes it easier to fit therapy into your routine. You're in good hands, too. BetterHelp therapists have at least 3 years and 1,000 hours of hands-on experience, and hold all required education, training, and certifications. It's easy to do, and the help is better over there. You don't have to navigate life's changes alone. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod.
Now, David Parker was objectively an excellent mechanic.
Thank you.
And he used these skills to turn an auto repair shop in Phoenix called Canal Motors into a thriving business when he came on as their #1 guy. As a result, David had money to burn. So he bought 2 properties at 2 different bodies of water in New Mexico in the early 80s. One property was at a place called Stone Lake, but the far more important purchase was a plot of land at Elephant Butte. David plopped down trailers on both properties and used them as weekend retreats, where he would bring women for further escapades into the world of sexual bondage. They said it was like a 700-mile triangle between Phoenix, Stone Lake, and Elephant Butte. And just fucking go round and round and round, picking up women wherever he could.
I just call this whole area David Land. Now, over here, we got, obviously, this is the play area, Elephant Butte Lake. Isn't it amazing? Now, the Indians around here tell me that Elephant Butte comes from the story of a large elephant sitting down, making a lake with his butt. And the local Indians had to shoot the elephant to death with their arrows in order to get it off their chief. Now, over here's where I'll be fucking you. Here's the pussy zappers.
Now, was he a smooth talker? Or
Yes.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Well, he had a very low, calm way of talking, and yeah, he could talk his way into just about anything. Yeah, he could pick up. He could pick up women.
So
He was tall.
Yeah.
So he's similar to Bundy.
Not quite as Bundy had a lot more, like, I guess, like natural charm.
Yeah, and he was
Bundy
like a
had
vagabond.
jobs.
Yeah.
But also, Bundy had jobs. Bundy was around people. Like, Bundy actually had to shapeshift a lot more and then went totally feral, where he didn't really have to. You put Elephant Butte where it's like it's not where you go to get a. It's not where you go.
It's not where you. It's where you go to be left alone.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the whole. That's this entire area of New Mexico. It's where you go to be left alone.
An end of the world society.
Yes.
Yeah. And Ted Bundy was a little more manic,
world.
and of the world, he went to law school, so on and so forth. But David Parker Ray is just he's skating through life.
Yeah, but
I
he's
guess.
also an expert in his job.
I mean, you could say that they were sort of like the blue collar and white collar side of the same coin.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Yeah, they'd be in that. They'd be a great odd couple cast. Like, I'd love to see the two of them in a living room fighting over the television.
Well, I would also say both Republicans, but for different reasons.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, perhaps recognizing the unique possibilities that Elephant Butte provided as a place to bring and murder women, David sold the place at Stone Lake and soon began splitting his time between Phoenix and Elephant Butte. He was not yet in the location where he would build his toy box, but David did buy a double-wide trailer on a plot of land in Elephant Butte where most of his neighbors were retirees who only wintered at the lake. But once David began spending more time in Elephant Butte, the ideas for the toy box began to coalesce. David fell further into the world of sadomasochism when he began designing, building, and selling specialized bondage equipment that was sold only through a P.O. box that David had set up himself.
You know what they say? If you build it, they won't come.
Oh, God. It's like technically a good joke.
Thank you.
But but I hate it.
Yeah, but I do believe sound, like, in terms of like composing the joke.
Yeah, no,
It's sound.
It's good on paper. When you hear it, that's when I hit you.
Yeah. A great joke.
Now, David's daughter Jessie was reaching her teenage years by the time David began spending more time at Elephant Butte. There, the two of them became close because Jessie was a tomboy who was just as talented of a mechanic as her father. From what Jessie said, though, David made no attempt to hide his sadomasochistic lifestyle throughout her childhood, nor did he hide the women he engaged in it with. By her teens, Jessie was well aware of almost everything that was going on, and she came to see her father's behavior as totally normal. Incredibly, though, while exposing a teenager to adult sexual activity that's absolutely abuse, it doesn't seem like David Parker Ray sexually abused his daughter in the more conventional sense.
I'm not a monster.
It does almost seem like that, where it's just like, there's just some lines that a man can't cross.
Well, he's very, again, that's why he mostly used sex workers.
Yeah.
So he could look down on them. Jesse's a very interesting case.
Jesse's an extraordinarily and the thing is that, like, Jesse's out there.
Jesse's out there.
Like, Jesse's out there. I tasked one of our research assistants, like, try to find me something on Jesse, and the only thing that
I scoured myself.
The only thing that she was able to find was a Reddit comment that said that they took a trucking course with Jesse a couple of years ago, and that she was fucking terrifying.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Unpleasant person.
I will say, though, great trucker.
Yeah.
Jessie, David Parker Ray's lesbian daughter, is an amazing trucker character.
Yeah.
And that's a show.
I guess so. It's a show no one wants to watch.
Yeah, I'm
That's a
not watching
show,
that
dude.
show. It is technically a show.
Yeah.
There's a
called Clam Stompers. Yeah.
There's a reason she's alone all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only clam I can handle's mine. Yeah.
Well, instead, the two of them spent a lot of time together at Elephant Butte actually bonding, all while Ray's sexual exploits existed as a sort of constant background noise that Jessie would often be exposed to. Now, by age 19, Jessie claimed that she began to feel conflicted about her father's overt sexual behavior. She said that she once watched David hire a sex worker for a bondage session, but when things became too violent, the woman ran out of the house naked, too terrified to even try and grab her clothes.
Sounds like a evil, Always Sunny like plot line. The idea of like these naked screaming sex workers are just running out of the trailer and just like, Daddy, what you doing in there? And he's just like, you know how these ladies are. Everybody's getting excited.
I mean, from how I read it, like, she wasn't like hanging out outside, like she was in the room.
Oh yeah,
like, you know, she's not
in the other. She's in the other half of the trailer.
Yeah, like, yeah, very much exposed to all of it. Now, naturally, this woman running away, this caused Jessie to question whether her father's behavior really was normal. And as such, something happened between the two of them in 1986 that prompted Jessie to call the FBI on her father, although we have no idea what the conflict actually was.
I asked for a Jetta, Daddy. I asked for
Not
a Jetta.
a golf, a Jetta.
And you got me a golf. How am I supposed to go around the other rapist women without a Jetta?
Well, maybe she really did think FBI stood for female body inspector.
I'd like to join the FBI. I actually have quite an experience. I've been inspecting female bodies since I was 12 years old.
Well, in June of that year, what we do know is that even with all the information we have now, the FBI still believes that Jessie called the feds on David in 1986, not out of concern for other people, but out of pure spite. Something happened, he pissed her off, and she called the FBI.
Or, which is the way standard answer we see across the board, started to realize, oh shit, I'm a big ol' accomplice in the center of this thing.
Maybe.
I better get ahead of this before I'm arrested as well.
I think this was before she started before she started getting into it. Like, she was much younger at this point when she started getting into it. That was years later, I believe.
Yeah, it also sounds like the FBI fucked up, and this is how they want to portray it.
Yeah, I mean, you literally, you never know.
Possibly. I mean, it is very difficult to know sometimes when the FBI makes statements, it's very difficult to know what is the truth and what's a cover up and by cover up, I mean like
their narrative.
By cover up, I mean, you know, sweeping away the mistakes that they made in the past.
I mean, it's no question about it a mistake. It's 15 years before he was caught or
13.
13 years.
Yeah.
So he was on their radar and they just didn't give a fuck.
Yes.
I mean, in June of that year, in 1986, you know, and he was arrested in 99, Jessie called the FBI and told them that her father was kidnapping women, torturing them, and selling them as sex slaves across the border in Mexico.
And they're like, God damn it, that's our job.
And as a result, the FBI spent the next year investigating David Parker Ray's activities in the Southwest, and they brought him in for questioning several times.
And their main response was, ooh.
Yeah. But no evidence for sex trafficking was ever found, and the FBI dropped the case. According to one of Jessie Ray's friends, the call to the FBI was the last time that Jessie tried breaking free of the life that her father had seemingly groomed for her. After the FBI was out of the picture, Jessie was more or less all in when it came to torturing, raping, and possibly killing other women at her father's side.
You know, I accidentally heard a fact that I found interesting that they had learned in Vietnam when we were doing interrogations of Viet Cong. It's a part of what they viewed as they have these like ways of interrogating, and one is this avoidance. Right?
Who has ways of interrogating?
The United States government, and that they call it avoidance. So the first thing is obviously they're under duress. They're in the house. They don't want to be. They're in the center. They don't want to be there, but. And you then do what they call conflict, or it's something, and then you engage with them, right? And every single time you have a fight, right, about their ideology, because they were always about like, oh, the Viet Cong, their ideology is so strong, how will we ever break them? Is that what you discover is that the more you have a continued fight and makeup with somebody, the more you even accidentally against your will become ingratiated to them. So you could almost see that at this point in conflict, they have went through the FBI. She's like, I called the FBI.
Yeah.
They've now exonerated my father. But the father now knows that you have called the FBI, or somebody called the FBI.
Yeah.
Somebody brought him in here.
Yeah.
So now you got to play ball. And then it's more of a, how do you live with yourself? Oh, I have to choose it.
Yeah. It's quite possible. That is very, very possible. Now, as far as the first murder that could definitively be linked to David Parker Ray goes, the victim was not a sex worker, an addict, or even a woman. Instead, David Parker Ray's first possible murder victim was his boss at Canal Motors, a man named Billy Ray Bowers, who disappeared in 1988.
Never kill your boss, Rob. Never kill your boss. That's when it all comes crumbling down. Nobody cares about what happens to anybody else.
But a guy named Billy Ray Bowers, like, it was only a matter of time before he was murdered.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Billy Ray Bowers is murder victim all over.
Yeah,
him
three side pieces,
Billy
two
Ray,
guys he owes money. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if Billy Ray and Joni Lee ever get together.
Oh,
yeah.
They're going to go on a killing spree. They're going to fucking rob a bunch of banks and die in a fucking hail of bullets.
No, it's just that's when the universe opens up into a black hole of sadness and we all just get sucked inside.
Yeah.
Now, Billy Ray had been a silent financial partner at Canal Motors for years, but he'd expressed an interest in cashing out on his half of the business. This, of course, would have been bad news financially for David Parker Ray. Now, we don't know if David made any specific threats, but we do know that Billy Ray Bowers began carrying a gun about a week before he disappeared, and he had told friends and family to call the police if anything happened to him. Now, David Parker Ray was quite intelligent in the ways of murder, so rather than simply kill Billy Ray Bowers, David Parker Ray allegedly made him disappear from the city of Phoenix completely on September 22nd, 1988. Exactly a year after Billy Ray disappeared. And this is why everyone is almost positive, 99.99% sure that David Parker Ray killed him. A man vacationing at Elephant Butte Lake from Santa Fe was fishing when he spotted what was obviously a body covered in a blue tarp floating in the water.
This is regulation. Can I pull this in?
Police were notified, and they quickly surmised that the victim had been shot execution style in the back of the head. The body, of course, belonged to Billy Ray, and it had somehow broken free from the two boat anchors that had been used to submerge it. But other than the methods of murder and disposal, the cops had no other leads on who this corpse belonged to or where it came from. This was, after all, 1990. DNA matching didn't exist, and it was impossible to know how long that body had been in that lake. And furthermore, the disappearance of Billy Ray Bowers had been a crime that had occurred a year earlier, 400 miles away. And even though David Parker Ray had been interviewed for that murder, or actually for that disappearance, there were no clues pointing towards his guilt. So the corpse that was found wrapped in the blue tarp, that was filed away as a John Doe. And that body would not be formally identified as Billy Ray Bowers until David Parker Ray was arrested nearly a decade later.
You know, it's interesting because I saw pictures of the body exhumed, and the tarp looked like fresh. It didn't look filthy like it was in a lake for a year.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that maybe he just had this guy tied up somewhere for a long time.
Oh, man.
Fucking knows.
I actually never even thought about that.
He might have very much so tortured his boss. That must have been a lot of fun for him.
Now I'm taking notes.
I really enjoyed that. Actually, I envy him. I envy that joy.
Well, I read that there was something about, like, they didn't know how long the body was in the water due to something about, like, the changing temperatures. Maybe it's something about, like, desert temperatures, like, so hot during the day, so cold at night, and, you know, it might, you know, fuck up whatever, you know, equations that they use or whatever methods they use or whatever they used back in 1990. So who knows? Now, after the FBI dropped their case against David for human trafficking in 1987, it seems like David began to feel untouchable. And when guys like him feel like there aren't any consequences to their behavior, they start getting, for lack of a better word, inventive. Consequently, sometime in the late 80s, David Parker Ray decided that he was going to use his mechanical expertise to construct what he considered to be the ultimate torture chamber.
It's too much space. That's what he had. Literally, he had too much space and too much time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these, on the way my buddy Dave was saying it, all of these plots in Elephant Butte, they all have about a quarter acre of land to play around with.
It's too much land. He should have been focused.
Well, looking at himself as a sexual scientist who is highly skilled in the art of pain, David began planning the construction of what would be, from his perspective, a laboratory to study the women he abducted as he inflicted tortures both physical and psychological. Like a scientist, David would approach the act of torture methodically, carefully documenting, cataloging, and filming everything he did. Eventually, David Parker Ray would figure out that the videos he used to track his progress could also make him money, and he would sell the documents of his evil to S&M enthusiasts all over the world through his P.O. box.
That is one of those pieces of information that is also lost to time. Who the fuck was he sending tapes to?
I mean, I'm sure that he had just a little ad in the back of a fucking S&M magazine that he took out that he probably paid $1 a month for. People write him. He gives them a catalog. Like, back in those days.
But is that fucking shit evidence?
Yeah, it is. But the people back in those days, like, they either didn't know or didn't care that they were actually buying footage of crimes,
it's
like actual
films.
crimes.
But then
there weren't snuff films because no one died.
Who knows?
We don't
though?
know.
We have no fucking clue.
We don't know.
Because then I think about all.
But we do know that no snuff film has ever been uncovered.
I am still just
Really?
except for none of the aforementioned like what you saw in 8mm.
Yeah, the whole idea of like people killing, like porno movies in which someone dies at the end, it doesn't exist. It's an urban myth.
Well,
Really?
we haven't seen them. My thing is that we know that Dean Corll was selling tapes, John Wayne Gacy was selling tapes, Herb Baumeister was probably selling tapes. This is another example of somebody that was selling tapes during, like, not that long after this. So it does feel like there was something. This whole crooked network. One day we'll figure all this out. One day it's going to be me with my fucking whiteboard, my 6-shooter revolver. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to find everyone on these lists.
Well, the thing about David Parker Ray is that it really wasn't like a secret network.
No.
It was an ad in the back of a magazine.
There's porn tapes.
That you can write to him.
Yeah.
You know, like if you interested in S&M tapes, write to me. And he would send a list of like, hey, here's the things I got. And then, you know, he'd send out the video of whatever people requested.
And I'm sure he said, like, these are consensual or whatever, just to cover his ass.
I mean, at the end of the day, they probably didn't ask, and he probably didn't say. I mean, in fact, I would imagine he probably hinted that they weren't.
Yeah.
Depending on the customer. To make it more exciting for them.
Yeah, and but then it's double because him saying these are real torture videos and blah blah blah. Him saying that juices them up, and then they're like, "There's no way it is. This is all
this is all
games."
this is all kayfabe." Yeah. Most chilling, however, were the souvenirs that David Parker Ray planned to collect during his years as a so-called sexual scientist, evidence of his exploits. See, in 2011, the FBI released images of everything they recovered from David's property in the hopes of closing some cold cases, seeing if maybe like pictures of necklaces and earrings and, you know, various forms of jewelry, hoping that somebody would recognize something. But despite the publication of over 400 images, not a single person has been linked to these items to this day as far as I know. Mostly, that's because David Parker Ray was careful to limit his victims to the so-called less dead, the sex workers, the addicts, the transients of the American Southwest, who were unlikely to be reported missing, or if they were reported, unlikely to have their disappearances seriously investigated. But even when the disappearances of these women were investigated years later and far too late, the FBI still came up with nothing, even though there are videotapes and photographs of scores of victims. Nearly all of them are unidentifiable, and the FBI, therefore, has absolutely no idea how many women David Parker Ray tortured and possibly killed once he moved out to Elephant Butte Lake. All they know is that the number is likely staggering.
This blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know,
it's fucking crazy.
But they don't recognize any of the women?
No.
How many victims are in these videos?
They had something of, he said what in one of the videos when he started doing the tape, he said he'd already brought 37 women to the box, and that then that was video time. That's like box time. that he had done it. Like, while he had already had the dungeon all put together, he had said 37. They said that they have piles up to it. I think wasn't he charged? It was 60, right?
Yeah, I think
they believe it's 60.
Somewhere. Well, I mean,
They believe it's 60.
60 is the number of women that one of his accomplices, said, like, I think he killed around 60 women. And it's really difficult to tell exactly how many there are and exactly how many, because you might have videotapes from so many different women, and you can identify through various bodily scars or shapes, whatever. Like, you might be able to identify different women that way, but then there's so much jewelry, so many pieces of jewelry. There's so much stuff. And it's impossible to put it all together.
And none of these people were missing people?
Nope.
Well, they weren't missing on the record, and they obviously weren't alive to show up.
Yeah.
To say that that's my stuff.
And the bodies are nowhere to be found.
And a lot of times when you see these kind of things, maybe they are alive and they just don't want to come forward because they don't want to deal with it.
Of course not, because
especially afher he's already caught,
dude,
and in prison.
100%.
Let's say maybe you're not a sex worker anymore, and you were tortured by a man. The last thing you want to go do is go watch him in court.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna actually next episode we're gonna talk about a woman who was tortured and let go, who did not report him, who could have, and just didn't.
Yeah,
didn't want to deal with it.
Well, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's horrifying. It's very unfair on the woman,
and no one fucking believes you.
Exactly. Now, David Parker Ray finally settled on a piece of land on an unpaved street at Elephant Butte, 513 Bass Road. And after moving his double wide onto the property, David brought in a 22-foot-long white cargo trailer, the kind you'd attach to a semi. While David would tell his neighbors that this trailer was simply his workshop, it was, of course, David's customized torture dungeon, left in plain sight for anyone to see. A dungeon which David affectionately called his toy box. See, David saw the toy box not only as a location where he could enact his fantasies, but also as a sort of living museum for his growing collection of sadomasochistic devices, both store-bought and homemade. This is also where he kept his pornography collection, where he kept his personal writings and drawings. It's like a presidential library for perversion. Tellingly, though, the first thing David...
We're going to get another one. That's next. That's like next. This is going to happen.
Tellingly, though, the first thing David did when he parked the trailer that would become his toy box was make and hang a hand-painted welcome sign inside the entrance that said, Satan's Den.
See? Evil, right? Fucking Satan's Den. Yeah, fucker.
It's a shitty sign, too.
It's a really shitty sign.
Everything in there, for lack of a better word, is pricey. It's like almost fancy in a weird way.
He put a lot of money into it.
He put a lot of money into it, but the sign... It's just, it's a little effort into everything but the sign.
Incredible.
Eddie, that's called a touch of home from me. It's a touch of home from me for me. So I could see it. I could see a little homespun.
Yeah.
A little bit of country nostalgia.
Incredible at mechanics, terrible at arts and crafts.
That's been my main problem. Me and Hitler. It's been one of my main issues. Terrible painter.
Now, David's toy box was not put together in a haphazard manner because his fantasies were sketched out on paper long before he put them into practice.
Yeah, they call me Leonardo da Vinci.
He soundproofed the trailer so the women's screams wouldn't be heard. He installed a deadbolt for extra security and even installed an AC unit so the women wouldn't suffocate in the New Mexico heat.
Let me confess, it's for me.
As far as equipment went, David built an elaborate system of pulleys, weights, clamps, chains, and padlocks, along with a collection of whips and gurneys, all designed to inflict the maximum amount of pain. The centerpiece, however, was a remote-controlled gynecological examination table with stirrups and electrodes installed at the head and midsection.
Man, if this was now, we're looking at an app. We're looking at some kind of meme coin.
Yeah, he definitely couldn't get away with this anymore.
It'd be hard. It would be really, really hard.
Yeah, there's too many things run through the phone.
Yeah, you got to register too much.
Yeah, all these passwords and identification keys and second.
Buddy, I don't count Elephant Butte out. I'm certain that there's still plenty of career perverts and deviants that are doing very well in Elephant Butte.
Didn't he put like a metal collar on the women and then attach that to a chain and like lock that to the ground?
Oh, yeah.
So no matter what, they couldn't get away?
Yep. Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah.
All right, I just felt like you left that out.
No, we're getting there.
I mean, feel free to add in anything.
Any horrible detail.
Any horrible detail, because I try to pick and choose.
Yeah.
Because the amount of honestly, the amount of shit in that dungeon, the amount of things that he installed, the sheer number of things that he thought through to the tiniest fucking detail, it's staggering.
You know who I'd like to list as a suspect? I listened to the entire tape because because at first I found like versions of the tape that were like other people read it in a scarier voice.
Sure.
But then I found his, which is just like very plain and
very
scarier because of how plain it is and how matter of fact it is.
Oh, yeah, it's the hello there, bitch.
But I worry about the man who made the video that I saw because of all the images that he added to it. how creative he got with the material. That man's a suspect.
If only I could have met David. If I could have just shown him my ability to edit his work into an amazing cavalcade of entertainment, then maybe, just maybe, we could have had a web series.
Oh, man.
Another of David's torture devices, he had a 7-foot-long coffin equipped with restraint hooks and ventilation holes. Nearby was a rack of equipment where each piece was labeled with names like ankle spreader, knee spreader, vaginal stretcher.
They do what they say.
Yeah.
They're not just clever names.
Lining the walls were cabinets filled with syringes, electric cattle prods, chemicals, a disturbing assortment of dildos. Just so many fucking dildos. It's incredible how many dildos the man had.
Yeah, over here where I keep the dildos, I call that Panthro's Palace. Yeah. Obviously, Panthro, the
Thunder Cat.
Term, the Thunder Cat.
Over here are the pocket pussies, or as I like to call them, dildon'ts.
Stupid. Fucking stupid.
For decoration, David used photos of women being tortured.
Yep.
He even constructed a childish little diorama of naked toy figures engaged in bondage sessions, which he'd put into a glass cabinet. He was very proud of that.
Yeah, there's like Lego. It's Legos, but it's more like a let me go, right?
Yeah, see, like my mom had like Swarovski crystals and Hummels, but his curio cabinet was just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it was.
Because guess what? When I look at Hummels, I don't get horny.
Yeah,
I need to see little figures torturing each other.
It's a stereo cabinet.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I like you.
Top it all off, though, David installed a TV monitor attached to the camera he was using to film every second of torture. Because the TV monitor was set up in just the right spot, the women could watch everything that was happening to them while knowing that other people would be privy to their pain and humiliation.
Now, he had multiple women at once sometimes, right? Or at least according to him, he did.
According to him.
Did he have other places that were soundproofed on the property?
No, it was all in here.
So he wouldn't have been able to have multiple women at one time.
In there?
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
Depending.
It was the women are actually more on the other side of the table. He had people helping him that were a part of the process.
Yeah. Now, as you can tell, David Parker Ray had taken this project quite seriously, and he became so infatuated with it that he quit the job in Phoenix that he literally murdered a man to keep so he could fully devote himself to his toy box in 1991.
It ain't a phase, Mom!
To make money, David started his own business in Elephant Butte called Dave's Automotive Repairs. And since David was the only emergency repairman for miles, he had a wide stretch of Interstate 25 that was all his own. If you broke down out there, David Parker Ray was going to be the guy who come pick up your car.
Man, that's what happened to me in Yeehaw Junction, man. These motherfuckers, they came for me, dude. I had to give them my DVD player and a couple of DVDs just to like get my transmission fixed, and I had to stay there for like 2 days.
You're lucky that they didn't put the Yeehaw in Yeehaw Junction. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, it was awful. I sat at the bar for 2 days in there, and it was all they were like, I played the Eagles, and I felt like I was like playing like the Devil's music, and like, they were very upset.
Why are you playing this hippie woke music?
Yeah, that fucking place. I hated that place so much. But then a semi truck drove through it, and it's gone now, so that's nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. Wow. All it takes is one.
Well, over the next few years, David Parker Ray would actually develop a local reputation as a good neighbor. These are the years that my buddy Dave spent 2 doors away, waving and saying, "Hey, Mr. Ray," as he and his friends ran by David Parker Ray's property. Hi. Yes. Hey there. Hi.
Nice to see you.
Yep. Now, Elephant Butte
Let's
really...
go find your sister. So it's from fucking National Lampoons.
Yes, I know what it's from.
Let's go find your
It
sister.
means something completely different, though, when you say it here.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Now, Elephant Butte really is just half of the equation here. While it was perfect for the disposal of corpses, the nearby town of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, was also a prime spot for choosing victims. See, even though T or C, as the locals call it, even though it only has a population of 5,000 people, it's a tourist town that's just off Interstate 25, runs between El Paso and Albuquerque, which means it's a prime stopping point for transients and people who are looking to be left alone by the rest of the world. As far as where David could find victims, T or C is just 7 miles from Elephant Butte, and David Parker Ray's local bar was, as my friend told it, just a quarter mile away from David's double wide and his toy box. Now, the town of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico sounds like it's got a fascinatingly cool story steeped in the lore of the American West, where poetry seems to naturally spring from the ugliest corners of humanity's needs and desires.
You're wrong!
Something like from Deadwood, you know, like where it's just like, it's beautiful. It's like it's got such poetry to it. But I was crestfallen to discover that the story behind the name of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico was little more than a publicity stunt for a stupid fucking game show that ran on NBC in the 40s and 50s. Prior to 1950, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico was named Palomas Hot Springs because the town's main draw was the mineral-heavy waters that thousands of elderly Southwesterners would use for a soak to ease their arthritis. But in order to bring their tourism numbers up even more, the town of Palomas Hot Springs decided to enter a contest when a game show called Truth or Consequences announced that they would host a live gala anniversary broadcast from any town that permanently renamed itself after the show. Whoa. And so the town renamed itself. They did the stupid anniversary special there, and that's the dumb fucking story of the coolest town name in America.
So are there any other Truth or Consequences?
Nope.
No.
This is the only one?
This is the only one.
The show was canceled.
They won the contest. It was long running, though, but the one thing that is kind of appropriate here is that the catchphrase for the Truth or Consequences game show was, no shit, aren't we devils?
Ooh. I mean, that sounds like, it seems like it was a good show.
No, you just run sort of a game show. I'm a serial killer and rapist. So when you say all this devil stuff,
you made someone sit on a pie. That is different from what the devil does.
It's devilish. Don't get me wrong. It's devilish.
Devil dog-ish.
And it actually does give me some ideas, but I want my pie to be filled with knives. You know what I'm saying?
No, the idea of the show was that they had trivia questions which were like purposefully impossible to answer, and people would have to try to answer the trivia question within like 2 seconds, and if they didn't, they were asked, so, truth or consequence? You know,
so it's truth or dare.
Truth or dare. Yeah. And then people would always choose the dare because it was, you know, and it would always be something fun or goofy. And then they'd say, aren't we devils?
Yeah. Because I think when you say truth, they go stuff like, where did your father serve in the war? You know, like,
isn't it crazy? We'd rather like cover ourselves in pudding than fucking tell the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Now, even though there are plenty of tourists who come to Truth or Consequences for the hot springs, the town still has somewhat of a Wild West vibe. And it's definitely still had a Wild West vibe back in the early to mid-90s. Like a lot of small New Mexico towns, Truth or Consequences fell prey to the scourge of meth, and the local sheriff spent a lot of time focused on that.
Mm-hmm. Rightfully so.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
It does add an air, like a bit of a unpredictability to the town.
Let's say the town's a bit of a handful for local law
There's
enforcement.
stuff going on in there, right?
Yeah.
Right? And the meth seem to really give these guys a lot of pep, a lot of energy.
Well, the town had kind of a culture of no questions asked. And before long, it became an open secret that David Parker Ray out at Elephant Butte was hosting wild sex parties for the more sexually adventurous citizens of Truth or Consequences.
Oh, and it's never who you want him to be.
No, of course not. In fact, it was rumored that some of the more well-connected businessmen in Truth or Consequences would pay David to attend live S&M performances that were held on David's boat out on the waters of Elephant Butte Lake.
I'd like to introduce you to some special VIP guests of mine I have here. Richard Trapper. He's obviously the jerky billionaire. And right here, I'd like you to meet, his name is John Poolstick. He makes pool sticks for a living.
It's like Eyes Wide Shut, but the eyes are shut because of jaundice.
You're going to want to close your eyes because these eyes are going to get squirted in.
Well, regardless of whether local businessmen fronted the cash, though, these on-the-water performances were still videotaped by David Parker Ray and were sold to his large network of mail-order customers. Now, David's fourth marriage had ended by 1994.
I'm just a romantic.
And he subsequently gave up on Dave's automotive service. Instead, Dave made his money by working as a vehicle mechanic at Elephant Butte State Park. Technically, David Parker Ray was a park ranger, which meant that he had even more opportunity to hide bodies. Interestingly, though, in the course of his work with the Parks Department, and this is like a fun fact, Ray designed a portable light unit that was so useful and cost-effective that to this day, New Mexico state parks still use the equipment based on David Parker Ray's original designs when they have to go out for nighttime emergencies. Fun fact.
Oh, that is a fun fact.
Hey, if you like my new flashlight so much, you should check out this other thing. It's dildo on a drill. And he just goes, wheel, 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 wheel. That's me making the noise. Man, I got it with me. It goes, wheel, 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 wheel. And it makes the girl go, wheel, wheel, wheel. You know what I'm saying?
The 90s were time for wacky inventors.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Between like
Flubber, yeah.
Flubber, How I Shrunk the Kids,
Oh, God, and I'll just tell you what. If I find that bear that's been stealing my picnic baskets, I am going to tie him to a gynecological chair, and I'm going to insert ever-enlarging dildos into his cloaca until he screams, and then I'm going to shoot him in the head. Mexicution style. That's what we call it down here in New Mexico.
Now, after David's fourth wife left, his daughter Jessie began spending more time out at Elephant Butte. Reportedly, Jessie would roll into town on her Honda motorcycle decked out in leather, and she became known as, and this was the word that was used, a legendary pool player in the bars of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Is she the number one lesbian besides Ellen DeGeneres? Because I feel like that puts you at the very peak of this.
Yeah.
She's coming in. She's not even using her legs to hold onto the fucking motorcycle. It's just her pussy lips just sucking onto the fucking seat. That's amazing for her.
Yeah, the best pool player in the bars of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
My daddy taught me a trick. Let me show you my custom-made cue. It's right in here. Just pulling out of her pussy like
It was when she stabbed the corner hole with the fuel cue. That's what should have tipped people off.
Hey, you like this, daddy? You like this, daddy?
But even though Jessie had ratted out her father to the FBI 8 years earlier, Jessie and David were closer than ever, although David absolutely manipulated his daughter into spending more time at Elephant Butte. See, Jessie was living in Albuquerque, but anytime she tried returning home from a visit to Elephant Butte, her father would become mysteriously ill, and the only person who could nurse him back to health was Jessie.
Aww.
Jessie, however, would develop bleeding ulcers whenever she went to Elephant Butte, even once had to be airlifted out to treat them. And that tells you a little something about how she felt while she was there. It was obviously a very stressful situation. But even though Jessie was a victim herself up to a point, which does deserve some sympathy, she's still just like all the other serial killers we've covered with abusive backgrounds who take a turn into murder and never look back. For example, in September of 1995, Jessie Ray was seen arguing with a young woman named Jill Troya in an Albuquerque bar. The fight was so intense that it attracted the attention of every patron. Jill and Jessie left together, but that was the last time anyone saw Jill Troya alive. Well, that's not proof that Jessie killed her, but considering everything we're about to get into, it is entirely possible that Jessie Ray may have a body count all her own that had absolutely nothing to do with her father having some sort of magical hold over her. Now, David Parker Ray finally persuaded his daughter Jessie to come live with him in his double-wide at Elephant Butte at some point in the mid-90s. And while it's certain that David Parker Ray was bringing women to his toy box before then, we also know that Jessie began assisting her father after she moved in on a regular basis. Now, there are holes in the story behind Jessie's involvement in David's crimes. And it's not holes as in, but like there's things that might refute it. It's just stuff we just don't know about.
Yes.
But much of what we do know about David Parker Ray's M.O. comes from a victim that Jessie definitely served up to her father, one of Jessie's actual friends. That friend was one of the women who lived to tell the tale. And from what it sounds like, she was far from being the first woman who ended up in the toy box because of the actions of Jessie Ray. This friend was a woman in her early 20s named Kelly Garrett, who'd run off to Truth or Consequences with a married man a few years earlier.
Consequences.
Kelly had been babysitting this guy's kids in Kansas, and after they'd started an affair, he'd convinced her that they should start a new life together in New Mexico. This married man, however, abandoned Kelly soon after they arrived in T or C. Kelly, however, found solace in the friends she'd made there, but that friend group included Jessie Ray. Now, Kelly ended up in David Parker Ray's toy box on July 25th, 1995, but the circumstances that led her there had been put into motion 9 days earlier. On July 16th, Kelly had married a Marine named Patrick. It was her third marriage, but after having a spat with her new husband on the 25th, Kelly had decided to join her friends at a bar in Truth or Consequences to blow off some steam. Now, Kelly had actually been the designated driver that night, but when she finally had just one beer at midnight, she immediately felt woozy and intoxicated. Unbeknownst to Kelly, Jessie Ray had spiked her drink, meaning that Jessie had decided to bring Kelly to the toy box without any prompting from her father. This is 1995. It's not like she texted him, "Hey, you want me to bring a girl?" She just did it all on her own.
She just kind of said that this is somebody that my father would really like.
Yes.
She could have beeped him.
I guess she could have beeped. He didn't have a beeper. As far as I know, I guess she could have beeped
She
him.
could have beeped him, but what do you beep? What do you beep? I say you
Just
beep.
Girl, question mark?
I lost all my codes. I used to have a sheet of beeper codes. I
Yeah.
can't remember them all now.
Boobs.
Yeah. Probably like a 187.
I forgot you were a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Now, to this day, Kelly doesn't remember leaving the bar with Jessie after Jessie offered to take her to her father's trailer to sober up. The first clear memory Kelly had was sitting on David's couch, where Jessie had told her to wait while Jessie went to the back room. 10 minutes later, both Jessie and David Parker Ray came out and sat on either side of Kelly on the couch without saying a single word. Suddenly, one of them had a knife to Kelly's throat while the other handcuffed her. A spike collar was then placed around her neck, and duct tape was wrapped around her eyes and mouth. David then led Kelly out to the toy box, where she said she was so terrified that she lost consciousness. When she came to, she found herself on the gynecological table with her ankles and wrists in straps. Those straps were attached to heavy chains. David Parker Ray then used smelling salts to fully bring Kelly back to consciousness, because David wanted her to be fully aware when she realized just how much trouble she was in, and he wanted to drink in as much fear and as much pain as possible. Once David was satisfied that Kelly was awake enough to process what was happening, he walked over to a stereo and pressed play on an audio cassette he'd recorded himself, a message that he played for every woman upon entering the toy box. In part, it said, "Hello there, bitch. Are you comfortable now? I doubt it. Wrists and ankles chained, gagged, probably blindfolded. You're disoriented and scared, too, I'd imagine. Perfectly normal under the circumstances. For a little while, at least, you need to get your shit together and listen to this tape. It is very relevant to your situation. I'm going to tell you in detail why you have been kidnapped, what's going to happen to you, and how long you'll be here. I don't know the details of your capture because this tape is being created July 23rd, 1993 as a general advisory tape for future female captives. The information I'm going to give you is based on my experience dealing with captives over a period of several years. If at a future date there are any major changes in our procedures, the tape will be upgraded.
And that's why I drive an Infinity. Last podcast on the left brought to you by Infinity.
No, I very much do not need to read you the entire message because honestly, it gets a little tedious.
The whole thing's 5 minutes long.
Yeah, but
Isn't it 50?
No, it's 5 minutes.
Then what the fuck did I listen to?
I don't know
I don't
because
know
it's 5 minutes long.
It's
I don't
5
know.
minutes long.
The thing I listened to was it was 50, and I got a half hour in, and I was just like, this is repetitive.
I have no
What are
idea.
you watching?
I have no idea what you listened because it's like a little over 5 minutes long.
So the person that I saw definitely got very creative.
Well, he expanded it.
I guess I'll have to send you what I saw.
Yeah, because I'd love to know. Does he go into is there a rap? Is there does he get full on into sound pastiche?
It's just it's for when I got 30 minutes in, it was 50 minutes long, and there were multiple tapes that had different versions of it, and some of them were 48 minutes, and others were 50. And so everyone I saw was very long.
Is this director's cut? Did you talk to Zack Snyder? Is that what this is about? Who made this cut? Is this the?
As far as I know, it was just a little over 5 minutes long.
Yeah, I
Okay.
listened to it this morning. And when I woke up, went to sleep last night, and the other day when I was driving, I listened to it a couple times just because, again, it's it's in my liked.
And this is why people should not do their own research.
Yeah, the same thing that led you to listen to 35 minutes of a man just rambling about torturing a woman is the same method that leads people to not believe in vaccines.
It's running in the same.
Yeah.
He's not even going to get. He's not going to get the vaccine anymore.
Oh no, it's definitely ruined my algorithm on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, the highlights of the tape are thus. David Parker Ray goes on in the tape to explain that he and his lady friend have been keeping sex slaves for years. Now, obviously, that lady friend was his daughter, Jessie, because he did have another female accomplice, but that woman did not come along until years later, years after David Parker Ray first made the tape, and his fourth wife, Joni Lee, was not involved in this. So the lady friend is Jessie. Now, going off of what David said on the tape, the two of them used Jessie's sexual orientation to find victims. David explained that they preferred lesbians because there was less of a chance for an STD. Not surprisingly, David didn't like condoms. David goes on in this tape for, as I said, over 5 minutes, detailing the specs of the torture dungeon, the extent of the torture the woman was about to go through, how long it was going to last. See, as far as the women listening to this tape knew, they were about to go through at least a 3-month ordeal. But David ended the tape saying that the woman would leave alive, drugged on sodium pentothal and phenobarbital, and would therefore not remember him, the toy box, or what had happened to her while she was locked inside.
Tootsie would have been a horrible victim because she's had so much phenobarbital, she would have been able to remember everything.
She's fine. She seems to be fine. She's eating fine.
And he did keep that promise. I mean, multiple times. We do know he did keep the promise sometimes from the survivors, the women who now today talk about it.
I think he would decide in the moment who does what.
Yep.
And then that also serves as a way of, very similar to Dennis Rader, when he would break in and say, I'm not going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm not here to kill you. I'm just here to rape you. I'm just, same thing with the East Area rapist. He was like, I'm just here. So that they would do that to sort of calm you.
Mm-hmm. So know that you would get out of there at some point.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the line about the condom, that he doesn't like, that's somewhat unnecessary because David Parker Ray was as impotent as they come, a real limp dick. In fact, I actually asked Ed to come up with a couple of more words for limp dick.
Yeah, and it was a nice little task to give me to keep my mind off of this. So,
Yeah.
So I feel like here's some other ways that I've never heard before.
Make sure you don't make fun of people with erectile dysfunction too hard because they will blow up the studio.
Oh, yeah, no, I absolutely.
They will kill you indiscriminately.
I hate when people call erectile dysfunction ED because it just spells my name. But
and thankfully, it's what he gives me.
So here's some other things. If you want to call someone limp dick, maybe try one of these instead. Puddin' pants.
Yeah. My father was more of a puddin' pants.
I like pudding pants.
Pancake batter genitals.
Hey, well, hey.
Or alt for that is pancock.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
If it's flat.
Yeah. Soggy logged.
Yeah. Honestly, soggy log is so much better than whiskey dick. Yeah. I will absolutely say, sorry, honey, I'm soggy logged right now. I can't do it right now.
Because the great thing about that is that when you say you're soggy logged, she's not in the mood anymore either.
Exactly.
She's not, and you've also hopefully made her laugh, but also made her not horny at the same time.
Sorry, baby, a little soggy log tonight.
Disengaged.
Wet cement cock.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. The mushy member.
Okay.
Puddle penis. A little floppy in the jorts, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, now, hey.
That's perfect for Elephant Butte. There's a lot of jorts at Elephant Butte.
Hey, now, hey, you leave me alone. All right? I'm already angry. I'm already upset.
You've ever heard of quicksand? His jeans are filled with dick sand. All right, thank you, everybody.
Hey, leave me alone. Hey, leave me alone. It will not work. It's a blood pressure issue.
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it.
I'm afraid of me. That's what this is psychological. I'm afraid of me. I'm afraid of my changes as a man.
And the best way to say you've gone flaccid is you've gone full David Parker Raid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
But
That's unfair.
But since David Parker Ray couldn't maintain an erection, he had, as I mentioned earlier, a disturbingly large collection of dildos that he would use to rape the women he abducted, which is what he did with Kelly. During all this time that Kelly was in the toy box, her husband had concluded that she'd simply run off with another man. This had been Kelly's third marriage before the age of 30, and since she'd run off with men before, wasn't the worst guess. Even so, Kelly's husband still filed a police report when she was gone for 24 hours. But the cops did to say, like, you know what? She probably just ran off. So when she was gone for 48, he bought a do-it-yourself divorce kit and began filling out the paperwork. But little did he know that Kelly was going to reappear the next day. See, 3 days after abducting Kelly, David Parker Ray released her at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning after giving her a heavy cocktail of psychoactive drugs and stealing her wedding ring as a souvenir. That wedding ring was later recovered. The first thing Kelly remembered when she came to was being at a local gas station with David Parker Ray. She was dressed back in the same clothes that she had been wearing when she was first abducted. David was wearing his park ranger uniform, and he very calmly told her that he'd just found her wandering the beach in an incoherent state, and he was there to take care of her and take her home. And the thing is, that cocktail worked. She did not remember what had happened the last 3 days at all. David then drove Kelly to her husband's house himself, where her husband was shocked by her appearance. Even though Kelly was known for being compulsively clean, she was barefoot. She smelled. She was dirty. It was off. She had been in a fucking tractor trailer for 3 days.
Can I ask about the drugs real quick? Mm-hmm. So the drugs, they make you forget everything that happened to you. Is she on drugs the entire time?
No.
No.
It's
up and down, conscious out. It's what happened during MK Ultra. It's sleep deprivation, knocking you out with barbiturates, waking you up, putting you back to sleep, and then it's just fucks with your memory.
You almost think it's a dream.
Yes. All she knows is that something fucking awful has happened to her, but she doesn't know what it was. And I think that's part of what makes David Parker Ray so evil, truly evil, is because it's almost like what David Parker Ray wanted to create was like a living corpse. Like he wanted to create someone who was alive but dead, like somebody who he tried to destroy people so thoroughly, but he loved torture so much that he wanted them to be tortured for the rest of their days.
Oh, yes.
You know, it's
what got him hard.
It went so, like, his pathology went so incredibly deep. You know, and there were a lot of these women, they recovered from it. You know, like it was very fucking difficult, extraordinarily difficult, but they recovered from it. So he did not win. But the impetus behind it is pure fucking evil.
He got away with it for a long time, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But even though something awful had obviously happened to Kelly, her husband had already made up his mind. He believed that Kelly and Jesse Ray were trying to somehow scam her, and he didn't believe her when she said that she didn't remember anything about the previous 3 days. David Parker Ray, meanwhile, stayed close by, listening to the entire conversation. And when her husband finally kicked Kelly out, David gave her a ride to a nearby restaurant so a friend could look after her. The husband annulled the marriage soon after, and it took 5 years of nightmares and half-remembered fragments until Kelly was finally able to piece together just what had happened after she left the bar with Jesse Ray that night. Now, that's obviously a harrowing story on several levels, but that's just how things went down when only Jesse and David were involved. We're about to introduce a whole new cast of characters who became heavily involved in David's twisted world, and it's with those accomplices that we'll return to our story next week.
That was what we didn't really cover when we first obviously stumbled upon this topic over a decade ago.
Yeah.
It was because of that tape. We'd seen the tape, and we were all fascinated with the tape, and we kind of listened to it, and we did our light version of research on it. One of the first times we did any form of research.
I almost like this. The first time we did this, it was the first time I ever wrote anything down.
Yeah.
Like before, like while checking
Before
shit
an
out
episode.
beforehand. Like I remember like actually like watching an A&E documentary and like jotting down some notes. Like, oh, I should remember that.
Yeah, I should probably get some of this correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I should probably get some of this correct.
But next week we're going to show that it was a whole operation. That was like one of the.
Well, I mean, I think operation
it's
is the
not
wrong
formal.
word.
Yeah. It's not formal at all. It's just weird how many people.
It's a business.
No,
in
it's
there.
not even a business.
It's a club.
It's a club. Like David Parker Ray is the only one that's making any money off of it.
Yeah.
Like he's basically David Parker Ray is, he's monetizing his hobby.
He is.
You know, if you put in the
And that just breaks my heart. Just hearing somebody, even in the 90s, we had to monetize our hobbies.
Yeah.
Unfucking believable.
But in this,
Thank God Patreon wasn't around back then.
Oh my God, David Parker Ray would have went ham with Kickstarter.
but in the starkest sense, like that's really what it was, and I think it is important to make sure that we don't call it an organization, we don't call it a business, because like it's shit like this where like myths like QAnon and all of that shit start to spring out.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
you can make the jump so quickly to there's a whole cabal behind this, there's a whole network behind this, when really it's just messy, it's just human, it's just the way these things happen.
If there was a network, you would have got caught a long time earlier.
Yeah, but no one writes anything down, and that's what you got to do. Next week, we're going to get into the same funny conversation that we're having right now. We're going to bring the same levity to this topic as we are.
Well, there's going to be some goofy New Mexico fellas.
That's what
coming
I
in
like
next
to
time.
hear.
A man named Roy.
I love a guy named
Everyone
Roy.
loves a Roy.
Except for this Roy. He's actually quite bad.
This Roy is actually quite awful, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he just got him because his name rhymed with toy?
Cute.
And also kind of like Ray.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Ray Roy.
Aw.
Patreon.com/lastpodcast on the left if you want to see a video for how much that joke made me smile. You can also...
I had some good ones today. They got to stay in.
Yeah.
We had some good ones today.
You had some good ones that got to come out too.
Yeah, that's how it works. Those are the better ones.
If you're a Patreon member, you can watch us every week at Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST. Last stream on the left. You can check it out and interact with us live on the chat. Follow us on all the socials at LP on the left. That's TikTok and Instagram. And don't forget to come see us on tour.
That's right. I think next week we're going to be in Utah at the Salt Lake City Sandy Amphitheater. That's going to be July 12th. And Henry and I are at Wise Guys the night before doing a side story show at 9:30 p.m. So check that out. And then August 8th, Charlotte, North Carolina. August 9th, Durham, North Carolina. September 20th, St. Paul, Minnesota. October 11th, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. October 25th, Oakland, California. November 29th, Cleveland, Ohio. December 12th and 13th, we're in Portland. Come and see us 2 nights in one city. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, we've done that before at Revolution Hall. It's so much fun to do.
I love Portland. Cannot wait to be there. And go check out all our new YouTube channels, LP at LPN TV, someplace underneath LPN Romanticy, The Foreign Report, No Dogs in Space, and Who's the Bee, which is doing their pitchathon right now. That I'm going to go do right after this.
You go have fun.
Oh, I will.
You
I'm
have
the
fun.
male perspective.
And that's what they need. And doesn't everyone need it?
Yes. Yes. Hail Satan, everybody.
Helgeen.
Eddie, it could be way worse.
I made you a country playlist earlier today. what was one song, one country artist that you really love?
Oh, actually, I really did enjoy. I took his name down, Marty Robbins.
Oh wow,
Marty Robbins, out in the West Texas town of El Paso.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So, hail, you know what? You know who I'm gonna hail? I'm gonna hail Harley. I officially adopted my foster dog.
Hey, that's wonderful.
That's right. And you know what she has? She's got a toy box.
Perfect.
But it's filled with doggy toys.
But it depends on. There were some doggy toys in the toy box.
And back to Marty Robbins, my little dog, my foster dog that turned into an adopted dog. You know what she's got?
What?
A big iron on her hip.
That's so funny.
Because of the accident.
Yeah, I know. I'm just sad from what we just talked about.
Not me. See you next week. I can't wait.
Pacifico, a crisp Mexican lager that wasn't brewed to blend in, because we choose to be yellow. But what does yellow sound like? Well, a little like this. And sometimes like this. That's the sound of choosing the beer in the yellow can. Choose yellow. Choose Pacifico. 21 plus. Discover responsibly. Pacifico Clara Beer. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Opill is FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen-free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. Finally, the days of needing a prescription for birth control are over. Opill is available online and at most major retailers. Take control of your health and reproductive journey with Opill. Birth control in your control. Use code BIRTHCONTROL for 25% off your first month of Opill at Opill.com.